Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
And welcome back to the Weird Science Comics YouTube channel, where I'm going to be going through the latest issue of Daredevil. Daredevil number 6, written by Chip Zdarsky. So here we go. And I do want to apologize for my voice. I mentioned it during my Spider-Man 3 review, but in that I said, yeah, I sound like a little sexy Demi Moore, right? But in between that review and this one, I actually did get treated for a slight case of the carbon monoxide poisoning. So anything I have said recently, I just want to blame on that. If I've offended you, it wasn't me. It was the carbon monoxide in my blood. That was what was offending you. So I am scot-free and away we go. And when I talk about loving Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run, I mean the first volume with Matt going to jail, Elektra taking over, and everything in between. This second part we're dealing with right now, it should feel big, but it's not hitting with me overall. And I don't know what it is. There's a lot of standing around talking. There's a lot of philosophizing, but it also might be that the Jason Aaron Punisher book just really isn't hitting with me. I'm not enjoying that at all. And maybe that whole bunch of things all combined in the goulash that is comics nowadays is kind of just turned me off a bit. But I love Chip Zdarsky, and I know and hope that this can all change quickly, at least in this Daredevil book, and it can change as quickly as this issue. We'll see as we get into it. But before we do that, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, enable notifications, and then please let me know what you thought of Daredevil number 6 in the comments below. Here are the credits. Daredevil number 6 is written by Chip Zdarsky. Art by Rafael de Latorre, colors by Matthew Wilson, and letters by VC's Clayton Cowles. I had to go all the way down. I don't know why they diss Clayton Cowles like that. All the way down there. Here is what is the recap. It is the Red Fist Saga Part 6, but here's the recap. And I sometimes read the recap, sometimes I don't. I will in this because a lot of crazy things have happened. Daredevil's married. Oh, my God. I didn't send a gift. I didn't even know there was like a registry. Oh, my goodness, I better get on that. Daredevil's married, and centuries ago, a group named the Fist was formed to stand in opposition to the sadistic and violent ninja clan, the Hand. Now, after a grueling ritual against the souls of the Hand's victims, Matt and Elektra have emerged as the Fist's king and queen. That sounds sexy. And their first act as monarchs of the Fist, sounds sexy again, breaking into the Myrmidian prison to recruit an army of villains, killers, and assassins to their cause. But Matt and Elektra's union comes at a precarious time, as the Hand also has a new leader, the bloodthirsty and ruthless vigilante Frank Castle, a.k.a. the Punisher. And it's funny, you have in that book, a.k.a. the Punisher, but you also have Aka, kind of a.k.a. Isn't that neat, the way that all things work out? Well, I end up jumping into this issue, and it starts with a roll call of the villains that Matt freed from the Meridian prison. I'm telling you, that word always gets me. One of the perks, though, of being a new recruit to the Fist is the free therapy from Doc Samson. They have a heck of a healthcare plan, including being there and sitting on the couch and talking about your problems to Doc Sasquatch. I mean, what other business can say that? It's pretty cool, but Agony, you see her little symbiote action, she doesn't think that that's so cool and actually starts fighting with Leonard, which allows Matt to kind of saunter in. Oh, you know, he's really like quietly just comes in. He has his hands behind his back, real surreal, and he gets to give his new age speech, right? I thought that possibly I was watching an old commercial about Dianetics. He ends up going and really plays off the Goodwill Hunting. It's not your fault. Don't say that, man. It's not your fault. No. I know it isn't. No, Agony. It's not your fault. Agony, though, is no Matt Damon here and is kind of still pissed off. And I'm not going to say that the beginning of this was action-packed, but compared to what's to come, at least with Matt, it might as well have been the Bourne Identity. Second shout out to Matt Damon right there, who is a gem. We do, though, get Elektra at the Paris G8 Summit. I don't know if she's there to maybe meet up with Greta.
How dare you?
She's not, but that's why Greta seems pissed right there. She's actually there to check out and see if the world leaders have been replaced by the Hand. But back on the island, Matt boils water. He cuts vegetables. I think he might be cooking like spaghetti. He's starting to make a sauce. But he also discusses the ills of incarceration with the bad guy Bullet. So Bullet's there listening to this mumbo jumbo again. And it's something that keeps on coming up in this book. But it has the depth of a tweet that has hashtag I hate hate. That's what it comes off to me. And I don't ever use this word. And that's a lie because I'm going to use it now. It feels like signaling. It really does. And especially the amount of time that we keep going back to it. But it's just surface level nonsense. It's nothing that is going to solve a problem. It's nothing that really gets in depth with the problem. And I think that Chip Zdarsky might be playing that angle a little bit, but it really just ends up making Matt feel like he's just a big dummy who just wants people to like him. But that's kind of what happens. But what makes it worse is Bullet sees right through the BS. Maybe that makes it better and calls Matt on it, which then sends Matt into this rage. And he throws everything they're sitting there cooking a nice fresh meal. He throws it against the wall. And I'm like, guess we're having leftover meatloaf tonight there, people. I don't know, but it might have even been the idea because I still do think he was making spaghetti. I think he threw it. It's like, I'm going to throw the spaghetti on the wall, see what sticks. Oh, crap, nothing stuck. What are we going to do? You know what you're going to do? You're going to eat meatloaf tonight, people. So with all of that, we go back to Paris. And Elektra does prove, but it's kind of just to herself, the way the circumstance goes, that the Hand are up in everyone's business. But now she's kind of world enemy number one, and she almost killed Iron Man as well. And while I think those two things should probably even out, she kills the president, she almost kills Iron Man. You know, that evens out. No, it doesn't. People in the world now and, everybody in charge, they're going to think that Elektra is pretty much going crazy and has to be taken down. This is going to make Matt look good as well. And it really puts the Fist in a precarious situation, which, again, this was all set up. This was set up by the Hand. So that's kind of cool. You see the machinations going. I did like when this president ends up saying to Elektra, yeah, I am part of the Hand and we're all over. You ever hear of that Hydra thing? Well, we're kind of like that now since they're not around. But by the way, I'm going to jump off this balcony, just like in Lethal Weapon 1. And he ends up and he falls down on the car. But unlike the hooker in Lethal Weapon 1, you end up where she goes down and gets to talk to the president for a little before he dies. But he talks a lot of trash and laughs at her. I thought that was kind of funny. But the issue then ends with Matt and Stick walking and talking. Got a lot of that in this run so far, philosophizing. And it ends up with them going to Goldie. I don't like Goldie. I don't like the addition of him here. I thought that the kind of ambiguous stuff with him before just was okay at first, but then it didn't really intrigue me. But also going into this after all this walking and talking and philosophizing, adding his religious BS to the mix, and then Frank Castle at the end stroking his blade. That's not sexy code either. Well, of course, talking about punishing. It almost felt like too much at the end. I'm like, oh, my God, what are these people talking about? And why are they doing so much of it? But this is the kind of issue that has me kind of bored with Daredevil right now. I still love Chip Zdarsky. I still love Daredevil. It's still one of my favorite books on the shelves. But I'm also including the first part of the run. But Chip Zdarsky has Elektra, Matt, even Frank Castle here in the issue where 98% of the time they're walking, talking, and stroking their swords. The art's good. Still not as good as before with Cachetto, but it's good. But I'm just not interested in the story right now to even give the cliched, I can't wait until next week. And believe me, that's always a great way to end a review if you're a hack. But hey, some people might say it, but I'll tell you, blame the carbon monoxide on that. But I can wait until next issue. I hope Zdarsky gets back to the A+ storytelling I know he's capable of, but because of all that, I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. Now, again, Let me know what you think. I'm sure people will have a little problem with me, but you can end up blaming the carbon monoxide. But please, in the comments below, let me know what you thought of it. Also, like, subscribe, and enable the notifications on that. But that is it for now, and I will talk to you all later.
Go read comics.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science
is the revolution.
Weird science
is the revolution.
Weird science
is the revolution.